Hello and welcome back to welcome to Organic Cardboard at Pecktec's house. So today I'm over at Sean's house and I wanted to talk with Sean about some of the games that I really enjoy that don't cost a lot of money, so they're not going to break the bank. So these are our three favorite games that are under $20. So
down under $20.
Down under.
It's kind of hard to find board games under $20 these days.
It can be, and when you talk about the board game space, sometimes you're kind of including card games into those a little bit, but they still kind of go into that board game space as well. I think card games, when I think of like just straight card games, I think of beyond having a basic deck of cards. It might be
like the poker deck style games, like something different than all that.
Yeah, even like Uno or something like that, I would still consider just a strict card game. But anyways, so we'll start this off with a game that you may not recognize this package with, but maybe you could recognize if you could see it. It's very tiny, but it's very epic.
It's like the ultra tiny.
Yeah, it's ultra tiny. So
I actually have one of those. No, it's in my car. Never mind.
An ultra tiny? What?
I got the ultra tiny epic. I got the box still.
Oh, the box. Yeah. Oh well.
Did you sleeve those?
I did sleeve these. So if you haven't guessed already, I'm talking about ultra tiny epic Galaxies. So Tiny Epic is a series that everybody knows already, and they did a couple of their games of their most. I don't know, like
Defender and that one, right?
Well, no, they did Kingdoms. So they did Tiny Epic Kingdom. They had Tiny Epic Kingdoms. They had Tiny Epic Galaxies, and then they did the ultra tiny epic version of both of those, which are the full games, and but they're very tiny, so they fit into a box that's essentially the size of like a normal card box.
Right, like a deck of cards size. Yeah. Like really taking those constraints and just
So
exasperating it.
They might have even been slightly thicker than a normal card box. I can't remember. But what I did is I took a cigar tin and I stuffed everything that I could into this. And so there's I'm not going to pull this whole thing out, but I was able to sleeve these cards and jam every bit of all of these little cubes that the cubes are taking place of, I guess. You have the full-size version of the game. Do you have the full-size tiny version?
Yeah, I've got both. Yeah. I've got both. I'm a real big fan of that particular game.
Yeah. So
don't show my ass on your channel. Don't put my ass on there.
So I don't edit my videos either. So Sean and I went to a board game meetup, and there were a lot of like big, medium-sized games that were there, and a huge option. I brought like a bag full of games, and then we sat down and we pulled out Ultra Tiny Epic Galaxies, and it's a surprisingly I don't know. I mean, it's obviously not a huge game, but it's got a surprising amount of like fun packed into that little unit.
This is one of my favorite Scott Holmes game. It is my favorite, and I was so stoked that they made just a really tiny one. I like tiny things a lot.
Yeah.
And so I love. In fact, I played mine. I didn't sleeve mine. I still have it in the deck of cards size box. Mm-hmm. I keep it in the car. And my buddy and I would go eat Chinese food all the time and just sit and play that at lunch and stuff. And it's just barely short enough. You could kind of get it in a lunch break if you got kind of loose hours and stuff. So
yeah, and the full size tiny game, I like to say full size small game, is it's $25, I think.
Yeah, this is just a little bit beyond like the scope of like this video, but boy, it's
it's a little too big. This is too big now. So the ultra tiny epic version though is only about $15, so it's definitely in that cheap range. It's very portable. You can take it anywhere, and you can play it in a pretty small area. So if you're going out for lunch, like you said, if you're going to a little small bar or anything like that, you don't need much space to pull this out, and you can have a pretty fun. I mean, I don't know. Would you even consider this a light game? I mean, I guess
it's like a medium weight. I think it's got like a lot to think about. Really.
Yeah. On the kind of the low end of the, maybe the lowest end of mediums. But a little more to it than your lightest game. So
it ain't no Monopoly.
It ain't no Monopoly. So it's fun and absolutely worth $15, and you can probably find it for a little cheaper than that if you look around. So
absolutely. Well, my first game is a party game, and it is a fake artist goes to New York.
Okay.
This was about $12.
Nice.
At Target.
Oh, Target.
And it is about the ugliest box cover I've ever seen. I don't like pink at all, and yellow mixed together especially. But what it comes with. Oh, that's kind of awkward.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not sure what it comes with is even less impressive somehow. But the game is super fun. Now, the way this game works is, have you ever played this game?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh, you've never even heard of it?
Never
Perfect.
Even heard of it.
So you get this pad of paper, and everybody gets a little pin.
Those are ribs?
Yeah.
Look at the pictures at ribs.
What? This? Ribs. Yeah.
It's not a butt. It's not a butt pumpkin.
So everybody gets their own color of these markers. And one person is like the game master. Now the game master and the fake artist are kind of trying to work together to win. And the way it works is the game master will find, I think you draw... Or maybe you make up a subject, or you draw. Yeah, you must just say a word, and then you've got to put that same thing. So it'd be like bird, and you put it on all of these little cards, and everybody gets one except for the fake artist. The fake artist just gets an X.
Okay.
So you hand these out, and everybody looks, and either so it's a hidden role game. So one of you is going to be not in the know as far as what you're trying to draw. So this goes around, and everybody draws one line. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to draw, complete the picture of the subject, like the bird, for instance.
Oh, okay.
But not give away that it's a bird.
Okay.
So, and then it goes to the next person, and they continue the picture, and they kind of draw a little bit of it. Then it goes to the fake artist, and they've got to try to figure out what the heck everybody's trying to draw and complete the picture. It goes around twice, and then everybody tries to guess who the fake artist is.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, no, I could see that. That's an interesting take on a Pictionary style game. So it's like. What is that, like reverse charades or something?
It's got it's got the hidden roll mechanism. It's got the this kind of drawing, kind of telestrations kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a guessing game, like a who's who, or who done it kind of thing.
Now, is this one of those things where you usually have one person and you just immediately know because they're over there sweating bullets and trying to pretend that they're being serious?
Sometimes it's hard. I mean, if you look at these pictures, it's like
you just put a little quick line is all you have to do, right?
Yeah, you just do one little continuous line and stuff, and you'll see.
That's fun.
And it's fun to keep the pictures and
now, do they know the theme? You have a theme, and then you have the actual title of what it is.
So it's going to be like this one is just was anatomy.
Yeah. So they don't. So the fake artist has no idea of anything.
Oh, yeah. The fake artist just gets an X.
Yeah.
And the person that's the game master, I think, picks the
Oh wow.
They write on the back.
And you just make up whatever you want to, as far as the actual whoever's going to do whatever theme that you want to do. You just
you want it to be easy to guess because you want your fake artist to be able to guess what it is, but difficult for them to draw without I don't know.
So what's the player count on it?
This will play as many people. This comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It comes with enough to play with 7 people.
I would imagine you need a certain number, though, right, to start off with?
You could, if you're a little innovative, you could buy 2 of these and that probably wouldn't affect it a whole lot. Like the picture would be much more developed probably if it passed through that many hands and stuff. Or you could do 2 fake artists maybe. I don't know how that would work, but yeah, it comes with enough to play one. It's 1 to 7.
Oh, 5. No, 5 to 10. That's what it's saying.
5 to 10.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, you need at least 5 to do it while allowing somebody to stay hidden. Because if it's just
right,
if you got 3 people playing, one person's writing out the names of whatever you're doing, and then who's fake? I think it's that person.
And they count the game master who isn't drawing anything. They count that as a player too.
So the fake artist gets to pick people too, then, right?
Yeah, I think depending on who wins or something.
That's fun.
This is one too where you're gonna play it 3 or 4 times. Like it's over in like 10 minutes maybe, and then you're playing it again.
Yeah.
And again and again. It's there's tons of pictures in here and it comes with a really nice thick pad, so.
And it's only $12.
Yeah, about $12.
$12. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. Well, the next game that I would like to talk about is Here to Slay. So Here to Slay, you can get this game pretty readily. It's been out for a while. You've probably seen it if you've gone to any of the big box stores. And Here to Slay is created by Unstable Unicorns, and they make a lot of these fairly quick, easy games that have the same art style that they use on their t-shirts, on T-Turtles, and it's kind of like this cutesy, sometimes like has like a serious theme, but it's still always got this like cutesy art along with it. So in Here to Slay, you are dealing with like a party of these different classes of classic like role-playing fantasy characters. So you've got like
the fighter,
wizards,
and the wizard.
fighters, and rangers, and thieves, things like that. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to complete a set of 6 of you want one of each of them. So it's got this kind of like set collection that's going on. There's a lot of take that, where you're doing things where you're taking other people's heroes from their assortment and their party. But meanwhile, one of the things that makes it the most fun is that you've got 3 of these monsters that you are going after. And they're going to change it every time somebody actually finishes killing and taking one of those monster cards. You'll get a new one showing up, so there'll always be 3 available. But if anybody at one point during the game ends up destroying 3 of the monsters, then they win. Or if somebody gets all 6 of those heroes out of one of each different class, then they win.
So it's competitive?
It's very competitive. Now it goes up to like, I don't know, 5, 6 players. It would probably suck, honestly, at 6 players. I don't know if I would want to play it that high.
Very few go to that high.
Yeah, but I think it's a great 2-player game. I played it at 3 players, and it can sometimes just drag out a little too long because you've got a lot of take that's going on. So everybody's taking that to each other, and it just increases the time. This says 30 to 60 minutes. That's appropriate for a 2-player game, but it significantly drags out. It seems like there's a lot of luck involved with it. It's got a fun amount of luck, I would say. So it's there's some dice rolling. So every time you're trying to successfully do something, each one of your heroes has a special ability, and when you play them down into your party, you get to roll for it and see if you activate it, and then you can attempt to activate it on another turn as well. And then the monsters that you go after, you'll also have to roll for those and hit a certain number. Most of the time it has to be a higher number, but there's at least one monster that you gotta like roll low to get it.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like an undead dragon or something. But then each one does give you like a special ability too. So it's just a fun game. It's got enough to it, enough meatiness to it, that even though there's a very present amount of luck within it, there's a lot of luck mitigation, and there's a lot of sweaty moments where you're just like, oh man, I just need that one card, and then you've got 3 points that you can spend on each one of your turns, and so one of your points is to draw a card, one's to play a card, and then it also costs 2 points to go for one of the monsters. So if you do that, you're out 1 point. And so if you don't get the monster, then you're kind of like, and you're stuck on your turn. You can't really do anything. So it's just fun. Or you can spend all your points and just draw a whole new hand, and then you can't do anything that turn. So there's a lot of fun little situations that happen in it, but I really enjoy it. I love the theme of it, and it's just got just enough meatiness in it to keep it very enjoyable.
I've never seen that one. I like the artwork on it a lot.
Yeah, now if I pull this out, I've got a couple expansions in there, so it's going to be a big mess, but it basically consists of a lot of like these standard size cards that are either going to be heroes or you can challenge whenever somebody plays a card. You can challenge against it, and then you guys roll dice for it. So there's a lot of like kind of like battling it out.
That's pretty neat.
And then the monsters are like these kind of oversized tarot cards. So it's pretty. It's fun. Enjoy it.
So my next one is a dueling game. Now this is kind of the opposite of the last one, where it was for a lot of people. This is for just 2 people, and this is Kingdomino Duel. So this is Kingdomino kind of in name only. It is a roll and write game wherein it's got a nice little box too. Nice presentation here. So it's got the little sheets, and you peel them off, and there's a back side that you'll use per game, and a front side that each person gets. And you're rolling these dice. It's got these custom dice. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you're rolling them.
Yay!
Yeah.
Got in the spirit. It's got these custom dice here that have different shield types, and you're going to do like a little matching game to try and get a whole bunch of the same shield types in little areas, and then you kind of block them off, and how many you get in particular areas will give you different amounts of points. This is a real. This is the kind of game you could sit there and play on the couch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? My wife and I, sometimes she doesn't want to come all the way up to the game room upstairs and play and stuff, or pull out a bunch of stuff and play a game. But this, you can kind of just take the box. In fact, I'll just take the little pin thing out of the box, and you got a nice little place to roll.
Oh yeah.
And we'll sit on the couch and sit there and play this out. Mm-hmm. And it is not very complicated. Not very cerebral or brain intensive. You're kind of rolling some dice and making some choices. Basically, you roll the dice, and the other person will get to choose one, and then you get to choose 2, and then they get the last one. Or something. Okay. It's kind of a drafting thing.
Yeah,
like that.
And you're just trying to get piles of them together in the same areas.
And you're what you're gonna try to do is just get a whole bunch of matches, kind of, and how big that area is how many points you get.
Okay.
Or something like that. Something close to that.
Something kind of simple. It's like a more involved version than tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. This is like super tic-tac-toe with dice.
Yeah, ultra tic-tac-toe. It's on ESPN.
Tic-tac-toe plus.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, now those are fun. That kind of makes me think of Herbaceous Sprouts a little bit, that we did that video on recently, and so that where you're just kind of taking over a little area and trying to gain those points as quick as possible.
It's the same vibe as that, and this is like $15.
Yeah,
I got this up at our the Good Times Game House.
Oh, you did get a Good Times. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was a nice little fun game.
All right. Well, so I'm going to pull out another game that is probably the most expensive one that I've got out of these 3 anyways. It's not the most expensive game that I have, but it's Jaipur. I think I'm saying that right, Jaipur. That sounds like the way you say that city. So Jaipur is a game that's been out for quite a while now. I do not know when it came out, but this is at least the 2nd edition of it. And so in Jaipur, you are traders that are trying to become, I don't know, the Sultan's like chief merchant or something like that. So whoever does the best is it gets this little like token at the end of a game. But it's really more of a round because it's best 2 out of 3. So there's maybe a little bit advantage of being the first player, and that switches hands each time, but not so much. I mean, it's got a fun amount of strategy placed and how you pick up these cards and play them in order to score them for points. And so you get higher points if you sell more of the same type of good. There's like 5 different goods I think in there, and so there's more expensive ones like the rubies or whatever are worth the most. There's gold and silver, and then you got the cheap ones with the leather, and I guess there's actually probably 6 different ones. There's leather as well. But if you're like the first one that's selling these goods out, then you get these higher little poker chips to take and then count for points at the end of that round. And if you sell in bigger sets, then you also are rewarded because you get these little randomized point tokens as well that will have like a hidden value underneath of them. Like this is a 5 and you flip it over and it's got 9 underneath of it. I think those go up to 10 on the higher value ones, but if you're only selling like 3 different ones, you might only get 2 extra points. So it pushes you to want to hold on to cards. You're going to have a set of cards sitting out in front to pick from, and then you also have camels. So you got camels to use as kind of like a wild card trade in, and then so it's fun because the camel component really makes it interesting. So you've got all these handful of different. There's 5 cards out in the draw that are available for you to see what they are. Some of them may be camels, some may be goods. You've got some goods in your hand. You're trying to match up things. Anytime you want to take a good off of the table, then you have to replace it with a card from your hand. Meanwhile, if you choose to take camels, you take all the camels that are sitting there and you put them in an open pile right in front of you. And those fill back up, and on another turn, instead of trading cards from your hand, you can trade your camels in. But then the next person can grab all the camels. So if you hold on and you trade 5 camels out all at once to grab everything on the board, the next person gets the camels. End of the game, you get an extra 5 points if you have the most camels. It's not like something that you're really focusing on too hard, but controlling the camels.
It can cause big swings in the game.
It becomes important. And there's some interesting strategies about controlling the camels. Because it makes it difficult because you can't trade any more than that one good out at a time out of your hand a lot of the time. So it's got some interesting little interplays with the strategy on when you choose to take a good and when you choose to sell a good. So you can only do like one thing on your turn anyways, so you can't be selling and trading at the same time. So
have you ever played Splendor?
I have not played Splendor, but I've heard this has been compared to it a good bit.
I went and we went to like another game night.
Same one that we did the Ultra Tiny Epic Galaxy set.
Yeah. So and we were there at this bar playing it in the dark. And it was
we found the darkest area in the room, the one that didn't
darkest
have any
area
light
possible,
above it,
and then we squinted at it. It was a lot of fun. It reminds me the most of Splendor because of you'd save up certain resources to pick up the cards or the tokens, I guess, that you want to keep for points and things, and it was neat. It's a really neat game. It was pretty quick.
Yeah, very quick, fast paced. You can play it in like half an hour maybe, because if one person wins and the next person wins and the third, going between the two, you may play through 3 rounds, but it's fairly fast. It's usually like it's not too hard of a thinking game, especially once you've played it once. You pretty much know what you're wanting to do. You're like, well, this is the only good thing to do here and only good thing to do there. But it is fun in the way that you have to decide when to sell, I think, because you're like, I could hold on to these 3 gold now, or I could hope for another gold to show up and sell 4 all at once and then get more points, and so it's interesting. But this cost right at $20. You can find it for $19.99, I guess. But if it's on sale, you can certainly find it under $20, which is what I did. I bought it for under $20. I can't remember what I bought it for, but it was like, it might have been $12.50 or something. Got it pretty cheap.
Owen, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
But there's one game that just rivals all other cheap, inexpensive games. One of the best, the game from Gen Con 2018, it premiered there. Yeah, I got it there. I played it more than anything else. I spent $578 at Gen Con on board games.
And I played this. Sticks in your head. You're like, oh God, I can't believe I spent. Yeah. He was saying that the whole way home. I can't believe I spent.
I can't believe it. How much did I spend? Oh no! I barely. And I played this more than anything else. It cost about $12. And it's called Trash Pandas.
And I have not played it.
Trash Pandas is a game about, well, you're all raccoons and you're digging through the garbage and you're trying to get the best garbage.
As raccoons do.
And so, and you're stashing away little bits of garbage, and you're playing. So it's a card game with a pressure luck mechanism. So it's got dice in it. It's got basically dice, cards, and some tokens. So you're going to throw these tokens out on the board. I'm not going to bother pulling all this out. So it's got these tokens, and you're going to throw these tokens out, and they all have a different symbol, and you get to do whatever's on the symbol. So sometimes it's like forage, or like that. It's got a garbage can, and that means you're drawing from the pile.
Okay.
And the cards are kind of hilarious too. So here's the thing with this game. I've bought this game about 30 times because I keep buying this and sending it to people. So whenever I make, a lot of times, especially right after I got this and right after I got real into board games and stuff, I'll be hanging out, and I was trying to. So I come from an aquarium channel kind of background. I've done that a lot. So I was taking this to fish conventions and trying to get all the other fish YouTubers to play this game.
Start playing board games.
Trying to get it to catch on, but it's got these hilarious cards like. Pie, and it's just like a piece of pizza with like a staple and stuff.
And a piece of dice stuck in it.
Yeah, half-eaten pizza. It's got all these little actions. So you'll have a hand of cards. You roll a dice. Whatever the symbol is, you get to take that token and keep it. There's a push your luck mechanism where you could try to do it, but like if that symbol comes up again and you've already got the token, you can't do it. It goes on to the next person, and you get some kind of something to kind of make up for your loss. But I haven't played this actually in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, wow, I can't suddenly remember the rules.
You wore it out and put it up.
Yeah, I really need to. I'm going to pull this out next game night, and I'll show you the power. Trash Pandas.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to try it. Now, this is you did a review of this video, correct?
I've actually never reviewed this.
Oh, you did
I did
not?
a playthrough.
Oh, you did a playthrough.
There's
okay.
a playthrough on my channel with me and my daughter playing this, and it's for some reason it's like my most popular video ever.
Yeah, you'll have to check out Trash Pandas after this.
Yeah, and even this Christmas, like this past Christmas in 2023, the 2022 Christmas that came by, there's this huge surge. Like I guess everybody got this for Christmas. People are still giving this out.
Well, that's a great stocking stuffer because I mean, look at the size of this box.
It's
you could stuff that into a stocking pretty easy. Get that the right side up, but yeah, we piqued my interest on it. I'll have to try it out pretty soon. It seems silly, like it's got the silly theme on it, the
Owen,
goofy trash pandas.
I would like you to take this with my blessing.
Oh, really?
Take this and play. Trash
Pandas.
It is my most gifted game.
Yeah.
This I feel completely safe giving this to anyone.
Sure.
It's always fun.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. I'll just sleeve these cards up.
Of course,
Cool.
It might still fit in there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, man. I will try it out. It looks like something that I think I could get Ashley to play with me without being too difficult.
Well, you know what's cool too? Strings. You can play it with kids. Like young kids, and kind of teach them about mitigation of luck and pushing your luck and stuff like that, and it's not boring.
Yeah.
Like it's one of like you can get maybe a 10-year-old. You probably need a little bit older kid, but you can play with the youngins, and it is not nearly as boring as half the other games that come around.
Yeah, it says 20-minute playtime.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Nice and quick, in and out. It's great.
Nice. Well, I think that's all of the games that we have for today. So, as always, thank you guys so much for stopping by today. If you enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those free clicks on the screen can really help support channels like ours. But otherwise, I hope you guys are just having an excellent day, and I hope you are enjoying the games that you have. And so, until next time, keep an eye out for more content like this, as well as other videos that I've done with and without Sean over at Pecktec Games. So Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll just walk away. So I do the reverse of you. I'll walk away. So I just kind of like fade in with it and start off with whatever, you know. So
Okay.
we'll see how this goes. It'll be a little awkward at your place. What do I usually say? Hello and welcome back to Pecktec. No, welcome to Organic Cardboard at